Hello, I'm Dr. Andrew Markham, Academic Director for Disability Studies Programs at the CUNY School of Professional Studies. I'm pleased to moderate this discussion today on the intersectionality between aging and disabilities. All right, our first question is for both commissioners. How do you see the intersectionality between aging and disabilities?
We look at this in two different ways. The first way that we look at the intersectionality is for those older adults who were born with disability and distinguishing those older adults who become disabled either as a result of age or through the aging process. The other area where we have a lot of intersectionality is around the workforce of older adults. We know that there is discrimination in the workforce, not only for older adults, but also for people with, who are disabled. And what we are trying to do is to make sure that employers get information and are educated, as well as older adults can also learn how to advocate for themselves.
So the most important part of that is we don't have true data on the community to tell you what are our needs, what happens when you become someone who is disabled and an older adult. Just because you're an older adult, don't presume that the person will become disabled. But if you're a disabled person, our goal is to become an older adult.
Thank you. Question number two, what initiatives or programs do your agencies have in place to promote accessibility and inclusion for older adults and individuals with disabilities?
What we are fortunate enough to have is an office of the mayor for people with disability, because when we worked together, the mayor created a cabinet. And when he created this cabinet for older New Yorkers, the issue was to make sure that all city agencies were looking at this perspective called aging and what were the issues affecting the city, what were the barriers, where were the gaps, so that we can come up with the best policies, legislative initiatives, as well as programming efforts to meet the needs of the older people. As part of that cabinet, we have the Mayor's Office of Disabilities. So there we have an incredible intersectionality, because as we are dealing with older adult issues, having the mayor's office there also introduces the aspect of disability, not only for older adults, but for all. So there is a major intersection. We would have not had this opportunity in the city of New York had a cabinet not been created, and had we not been able to send both messages out in a very strong, unified voice.
What we're looking at is the 5-year accessibility plan. And we are so proud of that, because it meant that all city agencies had to come up with a plan to show how they were going to be inclusive.
One thing that I wanted to say to you in response to that is, outside of the 5-year plan, the role that you have played with New York City Aging and in the cabinet is that many of us have already enhanced our websites and changed them so that they can be responsive, because you've been very instrumental.
What initiatives or partnerships do your departments have to promote workforce participation and economic opportunities for both people with disabilities and the aging population?
So I mentioned earlier that we had programs like the Senior Community Service Employment Program, and that is for older adults who are slightly above the poverty level.
I am really, really proud of what MOPD has been working on. And thanks to Mayor Adams and his administration, we're aiming to connect New Yorkers to actual jobs, meaningful jobs. In 2023, an announcement was made of the plan to advance career success for people with disabilities, and this year, we're working on it. We're making it happen. The employment program, NYC at Work, is a program that recruits, pre-screens, and connects New Yorkers with disabilities and older New Yorkers who are disabled with jobs and internships with business partners in both the public and private sector. We have a goal to connect 2,500 people, 2,500, with the support of the mayor, to meaningful employment opportunities in the next 3 years. And I think we're going to make that goal. I know we're going to make that goal, but this is historic. How do we tell people that we want you to work, but yet we are not accessible for them to view our websites? And it's not just websites, it's all digital tools and portals that must be accessible for everyone. And I see it this way. When you make it inclusive for the disabled community, when you make it inclusive for those who are older adults, you make it inclusive for everyone. It's a win-win. And most importantly, I'm going to say what I always say, nothing about us without us. You talk to us, you ask us what we need, and we will tell you, because we're really the experts on what we need. We know it better than anyone else. Thank you.
Thank you both, Commissioner Cortez, Commissioner Curry. We really appreciate your answering these questions today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.